Namaskar, good evening. You're watching Nation Wants to Know and I'm Swati Joshi. For the first time, a political link has come to fore in the Nagpur violence case. An alleged plotter who is the Nagpur president of a political outfit called Minority Democratic Party has been named in the FIR and arrested as well. The FIR against him alleges that he illegally gathered a crowd despite warnings being given by the police. A video also has surfaced showing Fahim Khan addressing his supporters and media personnel outside the police station. And before we tell you what are the charges against Fahim Ahmed, this political leader who is now under the lens, watch how he engaged in instigation against the police personnel.
पुलिस वालों ने लाठीचार्ज सिर्फ एक पक्ष के ऊपर किया। आज यहाँ पे हमारे को जो है डीसीपी और एसीपी साहब ने जो है आश्वासन दिया कि, और वो हमेशा आश्वासन वाला लॉलीपॉप मिलता है हमारे को, जिसको हम बोलते हैं। अभी हमने वही बात की है कि आप कल बुलाओगे, उसको एक नोटिस देंगे और 2 घंटे के बाद में उसको सलाम दुआ कर देंगे, फिर उसकी डेयरिंग बढ़ जाएंगी और फिर यही काम करेगा। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ये कौम जो है अपने हक के लिए खुद आवाज उठा लेंगी।
All right, let's now take you through the charges against Fahim Khan, who's a local leader there. These are the charges: illegally gathered 50 to 60 people. This is as per the FIR that has been registered. He has been placed under arrest. So he illegally gathered 50 to 60 people despite police warning, despite the personnel continuously telling them that this is not allowed, they should not gather there. He gathered crowd outside the police station. He in fact also instigated them. You also heard his reaction. Charge number 3, Fahim Khan led crowd spread false rumors. So false rumors were spread and he allowed that to happen. Charge 4, mob shouted slogans and engaged in incitement. These charges have been leveled against Fahim Khan. Mob brandished axes, stones and sticks. So they were armed with weapons. The FIR mentions that the mob was carrying axes, stones and sticks with them. And Fahim Khan has been placed under arrest. In the FIR, it is very clearly mentioned that he instigated the mob, that he gathered the mob there illegally. Now more skeletons are tumbling out, revealing how the murderous mob not only attacked police personnel with dangerous weapons such as knives, swords and axes, but they preyed on women police officers as well. Times now has accessed one of the FIRs registered in the Nagpur violence case, which details how rioters sexually harassed a female officer from riot control police. In this FIR, the complainant, who is also a cop, alleges that the mob tried to disrobe a lady police officer's clothes when she was on duty, trying to control the situation. She was allegedly touched inappropriately, and the mob also made obscene remarks on female officials. Let's break down the details of the FIR one by one. These are the revelations that have come to fore as per the FIR. Mob tried to rip lady officer's clothes. She was just doing her job and trying to control the situation there. Let's move on. Let's talk about the other revelations that have been mentioned. Female officer was sexually harassed. So the mob targeted her. Obscene remarks against female officers were made. Mob attacked cops with the intent to kill, not to injure or not in retaliation, but the intention was to kill them. Petrol bombs were hurled at police officers. Revelation number 6, mob attacked and stabbed police officers. Moving on, revelation number 7, the mob attacked cops with sticks. So the intention was to kill. That's what the FIR says. Revelation number 8, houses, cars, bikes were all set on fire. So the charges are sensational. The opposition pinned the blame on the BJP for peddling an anti-Aurangzeb rhetoric and claimed that's what led to violence. But now the Maharashtra Chief Minister has injected a fresh twist. On the floor of the assembly, Fadnavis claimed that there was no holy text on burnt cloth and the state government did a proper verification on the same. He also warned that his government will dig out culprits from their grave. Here's what he said.
आणि मी पुन्हा सांगतो, नागपूरच्या प्रकरणामध्ये ज्यांनी पोलिसांवर हल्ला केलेला आहे त्यांना कबरीतने खोदून काढू, सोडणार नाही. की सगळ्या गोष्टी क्षम्य आहेत, पण पोलिसांवर हल्ला हा क्षम्य नाही. त्यामुळे त्यांच्यावर जी स्ट्रिक्टेस्ट कारवाई आहे ती कारवाई करून विविक्षित वेळेमध्ये त्यांच्यावर ही सगळी कारवाई केली जाईल. काही लोकांनी हा जाणीवपूर्वक केलेला त्या ठिकाणी लक्षात येतो. कारण जसं त्या ठिकाणी औरंगजेबाची कबर जाळली गेली आणि त्याच्यावर कुठली आयात लिहिलेली नव्हती, कुठलीच नाही. त्याचं नीट आम्ही व्हेरिफिकेशन केलं, त्याला मॅग्निफाय करूनही व्हेरिफिकेशन केलं, पण जाणीवपूर्वक आयाती जाळल्या अशा प्रकारचे त्या ठिकाणी मेसेजेस फिरवण्यात आले आणि त्यातून अशा प्रकारची घटना पुढची जी काही आहे ती घडलेली आहे.
So what the Chief Minister of Maharashtra essentially is saying is that there was no provocation, there was no act that could hurt the sentiments, and whatever was witnessed in terms of the clashes, the violence was deliberate. Before we open up the debate, let me ask a question to our viewers, and do register your vote. Let us know what you think about this. Was Nagpur violence pre-planned? You can cast your vote at Times Now on social media platform X. We will reveal the results right after the debate. Have your say. Tell us, what do you think about this? Let's now open up the debate and go across to our guests. We have Gopal Krishna Agarwal of the Bharatiya Janata Party joining us. We have Advocate Sushil Vyas, National Spokesperson of the Shinde Sena, the Shiv Sena, Syam Prasad Meka of the Congress. We have Akhil Chitre, leader of the Shiv Sena, and Tausif Ahmed Khan, lawyer and political analyst. Let me begin with you, Syam Prasad Meka ji. Good evening to you. The Chief Minister of Maharashtra has made it absolutely clear. He says there was no provocation, and he has in fact spoken about proof that there was no holy text on the clock that was burned. Essentially, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Meka, is saying that there was no provocation. No sentiments were hurt, and the violence was pre-planned. Will there be condemnation now on part of the opposition without conditions?
No, Swati, first of all, what are we even debating? Everybody condemns the violence, the mindlessness of the violence, right? Where is the question of a debate in that? Everybody condemns it. Where is the question?
The question arises when Syam Prasad Meka, along with condemnation, the reason or the next statement that is said is that it all happened because anti-Aurangzeb statements were made. That is the justification, which is objectionable. That gives a cover to people who broke law.
No. See, that's the narrative that probably some elements might want to spread. The question is, the violence is there. There are elements and political forces who will thrive in such kind of situations. So people know who are going to fan up such narratives and such situations in the country. Right? So we stand for the peace and law and order in the country. As a political party, we don't want to take any political mileage out of such situations. See, please, for God's sake, don't do that. This is not a situation to be used for political gains. See, Manipur is burning, Maharashtra is burning, the country is burning.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Today you're taking this stand, but till now all the statements that have come and official statements from political parties was that this was because anti-Aurangzeb statements were made. Why is there no condemnation of Fahim Khan, who was openly instigating people? That was the provocation. That was the provocation that happened. Akhil Chitre, people like Fahim Khan, there are perhaps more like him. Perhaps he's the mastermind. Perhaps there are others, a larger group who were operating there. Why is there no condemnation of that? Why was the first reaction from the opposition that this is because of BJP? It is their politics of hatred.
Swati, first of all, simple thing is...
No, let me bring in Akhil Chitre.
No, one second. Give me 10 seconds. Let me quickly come back on this. See, Swati, what we need to do is we need to ask the government of Maharashtra to bring the situation under control.
Absolutely. That should have been the first demand. That should have been the first demand. But Mr. Meka, the opposition jumped to conclusion that this has been done by the BJP, that the government is responsible. Akhil Chitre, and that's why the question: why is there no condemnation without condition? Akhil Chitre.
We condemn anyone and everyone who are indulging into violence and who are trying to create communal rift and communal violence in Maharashtra. And I would like to correct you over here. We are not supporting that so-called Fahim. On your channel, I condemn his act and whatever has happened, and stringent action of law should be taken against him and all his associates. Now, secondly, let me tell you one more thing. When I'm saying this, there is no condition over here, but there is also a minister, cabinet minister in Maharashtra, Mr. Nitesh Rane. You also need to show his statements, all blatant statements he's been making for last month.
Absolutely.
And creating communal
Absolutely,
rift over
those
here in
wild
Maharashtra.
statements also
And
need
he's
to be
trying
condemned.
he's coming
Those
up with-
wild
he's coming
statements
up with-
also need to
coming
be
up with
condemned.
all the coming up will, we condemn. Thanks for condemning.
No, one
that
second.
also.
One second.
But I
First
think
of all,
Mr.
thank you for
Devendra
issuing the
Fadnavis-
clarification that you do not support
Action
Fahim
against
Shamim
his
Khan.
minister
And
also.
second, I never said you support him. I said, why is there no condemnation without condition? Because the moment political reaction started coming in, Mr. Chitre, the first thing that most
already-
leaders in the opposition said was that the BJP is responsible. These are because of the anti-Aurangzeb statements.
In the morning.
No, what do you mean to say? What do you
Yeah,
mean to say?
because all the things which were roaming around yesterday on air, see, we are talking now later on after 48 hours. When this initially happened, there was no clue about what this has happened. It was the news was spread that it was a communal rift between Muslims and Hindus. So this kind of thing was
Yes,
being,
but sir,
put in by
again
the
going
BJP
back
leaders
to
only.
my question,
So-
why is there no condemnation without condition? Can you really justify that
Yeah.
because somebody made a statement, that's why this violence is all right?
I already-
That's why people
I
can break the
already
rules,
condemned
the
it.
norms and go on a rampage?
I have already. No. I have clearly condemned it. I have already.
Coffee.
You are not taking my answer. I have already. You can check what I have said. I have already condemned it and without any condition.
Okay, today
It
you
is
are
not
condemning
that
without
you
condition,
can
but
say
you
something that is
also
not- I'm not
admitted
stating
that the first reaction was to blame it on the anti-Aurangzeb statements. Let me bring in Gopal Krishna Agarwal. Gopal Krishna Agarwal, the opposition today is saying we are condemning it without condition. We want peace. We do not support people who are indulging in violence. But it is the government's responsibility. Even if it is pre-planned, how did it happen under your nose?
Swati, we have to understand the basics here. One thing is very clear that they are now saying when there are so many FIR, there are so many proofs where the police has taken action. Now they are saying that unconditional condemnation of violence. And second, what is the mindset of opposition? They will justify violence if there is a provocation. So that is the basic question, that whatever may be the provocation, nobody has the right to indulge into violence and take law into hand. If there are certain statements, the law will take its course. Why they don't want to law to take its own course? If there are people who don't want Aurangzeb to be celebrated in India, they are saying they are not indulging in violence. So this basic question here is, the condemnation has come once there is enough proof that there are criminal elements in this violence, one thing. Second is, till this time, the opposition has been saying that because of provocation, you can indulge in violence.
Okay.
Is this right?
Okay, Tausif, I want to come to you. So the allegation is that the opposition was trying to milk the situation till about now, till Fahim's video has come to fore, till the FIR details have come to fore. The opposition was only trying to use this situation for political mileage, political gains. How do you respond?
No, you see, it is mindless for people like Fahim to resort to violence, or for that matter, anybody who is provoked by the Bajrang Dal, burning the Quranic verses in that cloth. It is mindless. You have no right to take law in your
Chief
hand.
Minister on the floor of the
I
Assembly has said, that there was no provocation.
And even if there is a
Regardless of what
provocation, you
Chief
cannot
Minister
indulge
will
in
make a political statement. The fact is, that which is acknowledged by the Commissioner of the Police of Nagpur, that the group, Hindutva group of Bajrang Dal was doing a protest. They were burning an effigy along with a cloth which had the Quranic verses written on it. And this
But
is
the
the
Chief
root of the
Minister,
cause.
that's what I'm saying,
Now, it
on the
was
floor
totally a duty
of the
police.
Assembly, the Chief
Police.
Minister has responded to that, countering there was no holy text.
No, Chief Minister is defending the police. It is a
Chief
failure of
Minister
the
is-
police.
Okay.
Police should not allow such a situation to go out of control. And yes, police is right in arresting Fahim. Police is right in arresting everyone who is seen on the CCTVs pelting stones and all. But police must also take a strict action against the Hindutva group who indulge in these kind of incidents, who provoke this incident.
So
Media
Tausif,
must speak up.
Tausif, will you then
Provocation
say,
must
along
end.
with condemning Fahim, that the opposition did jump the gun? Even before the investigation was concluded, which is still ongoing, by the way?
How long does it take? Come on. You and I, we both understand what is going on in this country. Let us be truthful to the people of the country. Even people understand what is going on. I have one simple message. Regardless of how you are provoked, who you are provoking, you cannot resort to violence. Because if you resort to violence, police will act against you. You will be the focus.
Appreciate that stand that you've taken, Tausif.
From the provocation.
Appreciate the stand that you've taken, that no matter the provocation, there should not be violence. But unfortunately, the first reaction was to blame the anti-Aurangzeb statements or to blame the BJP. It's only now that these statements are being retracted. Advocate Sushil Vyas. However, Tausif is still implying that there was some mischief and he is not giving a clean sheet to the government.
Swati ji, it is very unfortunate that in spite of leader of Maharashtra, duly elected leader of Maharashtra by 13 crore voters of this state, and making statement in the highest forum of constitutional forum, that is namely Vidhan Sabha of Maharashtra, today he made a very responsible statement that there was no holy text on that cloth. Now, in spite of that, somebody is denying. I'm not fighting with him.
Tausif is saying it's a political statement.
That's
It's a
what I'm
political
saying.
statement coming in from the CM.
That's why I'm saying, when a chief minister of Maharashtra with all his authority is making statement in this assembly, on the floor of the assembly, he is leader of Maharashtra. He is not leader of BJP or Samajwadi Party or Shiv Sena. He is leader of Maharashtra. He with all responsibility at his command, he's making with full responsibility. We must believe that. And we must give police agency, police force sufficient time to inquire into it.
Going by that logic,
Please, I am not
Tausif, once again, he
interfering.
never interrupted you. Allow him to finish.
I'm not
Tausif.
interpreting my idea.
Allow
This
him
is
to
not
finish.
the
I'll come to you for a
way to
counter.
debate. We do participate in debates, but this is not the way to debate. So when ATC is they are looking into it, there are about 1,250 CCTV footage are available with the police. And now tell me, if it is not well planned, how the stones were there in that with these trolleys on terrace of the buildings, how so many stones were pelted, from where the source were.
Okay, so these are the questions that need to be asked before jumping to conclusion, Mr. Chitre. Where did those stones come from? Was it pre-planned? And if this local leader's video has come to, he's been arrested, are there more such people behind him? Is there a political group, a nexus? But, you know, these questions are not being raised by the opposition, is what Mr. Vyas is saying, just blaming the government.
Who else to blame?
Now let me answer without interruption. I'll just answer you. Now, why are you so keen on us giving government clean sheet? We are not over here to judge someone. Why are you let the authorities take their stand?
I'm not asking you to give a clean sheet to the government. I just asked Mr. Gopal Krishna Agarwal, how did it happen under your nose, even if it was pre-planned?
RSS.
Perhaps you didn't hear that question.
RSS headquarters is there at the Mughal where this situation all happened. In the afternoon, there was some protest by Vishwa Hindu Parishad and Bajrang Dal and all. Even the locals were fearing that something may happen. When a political outfit like us, we indulge into some kind of agitation, police is behind our life, they book us, they detain us, their intelligence is there. Government never knew, the Home Department never knew that such kind of thing can happen. What were they doing? Isn't it an intelligence failure? Isn't it a failure of...
was there violence during the protest that you're talking about?
Mr. Devendra Fadnavis...
Was there violence during the protest that you're talking about?
See, I'm talking about the thing that there was an intelligence failure. They should have... When the people were gathering, there are news that people came from outside. What was the police doing?
Gopal Krishna Agarwal, respond.
This is a total intelligence failure.
Gopal Krishna Agarwal, respond. Respond. What was the police doing?
Yeah, police took when there was a FIR, there was a complaint about that some people are agitating against Aurangzeb mosque. So the police took an FIR. When people started gathering, police announced that this is illegal gathering, don't do it. You have to use force with the commensurate with the violence. The police have controlled the violence. There is violence, but the issue is political now. Does opposition condemn the violence? Any kind of provocation can justify when even the provocation is said to be false. It may be false or correct, but provocation does not justify indulging in violence. Opposition is trying to take a political mileage by saying that because of provocation, this violence took place.
Mr.
Police has controlled it.
Quick rebuttal. Also look at the mindset of this mob. Attacking a police officer with an axe, sexually harassing a female officer who was just doing her duty. They were trying to rip off her clothes.
So definitely police...
Swati, very simple thing is, nobody condones violence. Even if there is a provocation, violence should be condemned. That's what every one of us, each political party does the same thing.
Opposition did not condemn.
We are condemning.
There is a provocation for
One
this
second.
Mr. Agarwal, one second. Allow Mr. Baker to finish his point, please.
My friend, every one of us condemns the violence. But what I find very amusing here is, instead of holding the government accountable for controlling the situation, a historic city is burning under the communal violence. Everybody is fanning it up. Opposition is not doing that. Opposition did not question this way. Opposition did not question that way. Is that what we are doing? Is that what we are trying to tell?
No. One second, Mr. Meka. Mr. Meka, you are making these statements now. What was the first initial reaction that came in from the opposition? That this is all happening because some statements were made.
Of course we will make...
And now you're saying the same thing now.
See, of course people
Either you
will question
condemn it
the
without
government.
condition, or you say yes, provocation is the reason for this violence.
No. I'm telling you, your viewers can easily understand. Don't get excited about this. People of this country know who will thrive under such circumstances. Who will thrive under
People who got
polarization.
easily excited were those in the opposition who jumped to conclusion. So perhaps you should give this advice to practice restraint to your fellow congressmen and other leaders of the INDI bloc. That's all the time we have, gentlemen, for joining us in the debate. Thank you very much. Let's reveal the results of the poll. The question that we asked was Nagpur violence pre-planned. And this is how people voted. 97.8% people believe yes, the violence that was witnessed in Nagpur was pre-planned, while 2.2% people say no, it was not pre-planned. With that, we are wrapping up this edition of Nation Wants to Know. There's a lot more lined up for you on the other side. Stay on with us.